Good morning or good afternoon. This is Yoga Namaste with Jen. We are going to be doing a yoga practice and a meditation, mindful meditation for the root chakra, Muladhara chakra, which is the color red. It sits at the base of our spine, is associated with grounding, security, or insecurity, centering ourselves at home in our bodies, being comfortable in our own skin, being settled, being rooted in our lives, being present, right? Or the opposite of that, being ungrounded, unfocused, a lot kind of chaotic, all right, kind of unbalanced in your life. So starting with the root chakra, I jotted some health elements down. If you're experiencing an out of balance root chakra, okay? So pain or stiffness in your legs or feet, pelvic pain, weight gain or loss, constipation, insomnia, low sense of physical stability. I already said feeling ungrounded, unsafe, or insecure, feeling unsettled, chaotic home life, feeling stuck, anxiety, stress, or depression are all signs of an out of balance root chakra, okay? Which is going to kind of feed into the other chakras as well. So we want to always stay grounded and balanced in our root chakra. So other things we can do besides this yoga practice and meditation is wearing red, speaking positive affirmations, which we will do as well. But this chakra is associated with the earth. It makes sense, right? So rooting, grounding, it's our lowest chakra in the body. So eating earth vegetables, red fruits, foods from the earth, especially the color red, are all really good to eat. So imagine strawberries, raspberries, beets, root veggies, earthy foods. So yeah, yoga, just getting out in nature, right? Hiking, walking, being in nature. So yeah. And then there's also, besides the fruit and the veggies, there are different herbs and spices that are good for your root chakra, which are dandelion root, sage, ashwagandha, cinnamon, which also aids in the adrenal glands, which is associated with our root chakra, which controls a lot of systems in the body, the adrenal glands. So cinnamon for that, great for the adrenals. Ginger, clove, raspberry leaf, cayenne, turmeric, they're all going to nourish the root chakra for us, okay? Among others, but those are some of the pretty accessible ones, okay? Consuming those. So with the root chakra being about grounding, this is in stabilizing, being close to the earth, this has a lot to do with our legs and feet. So we're going to do a nice strong kind of rooting, grounding through our feet practice, through our legs, gaining strength and flexibility in the legs. Alrighty. So, and some positive affirmations. All right. So for our root chakra, which you can choose one or none of these, okay, for your practice today before we begin our meditation. So I am safe and secure. I have deep roots. I am grounded. I am peaceful. I trust more. I am fearless. I love myself. I love my body and trust its wisdom. I have abundance in my life. I trust God and the universe to support me in every way. I'm firmly rooted in my life. So you can choose all of them. You can choose one of them. You can choose none of them. A positive. So when we work with an affirmation or a mantra, we begin to reprogram our subconscious thinking, our subconscious mind, right? 70% of our thinking is unconscious and tends to be negative. So when we are able to choose these mindful, positive affirmations, right? We're beginning to reprogram our subconscious thinking, our subconscious mind. So I am safe. I am secure. I am grounded. I trust. I trust the process. I'm fearless. I love my body and its wisdom. I have abundance in my life, beautiful abundance in my life. I have it. I trust the universe. I trust God. I trust my purpose, right? I'm firmly rooted in my life, in the process. So we're going to bring our hands to heart center. Just closing down the eyes. Find a comfortable seat. So any comfortable cross-legged posture. One ankle can go in front of the other ankle. We can bring a foot behind the knee for our happy pose here. If this is not comfortable for you, it does take some strength in the spine to be able to sit. Like this, you can sit on a block. If you have a block, you can sit on a blanket. If you have a pillow handy, whatever you feel, handy, whatever you have handy that you feel comfortable sitting on to elevate your hips a little bit over your knees, okay, is going to help. It can also alleviate some pressure off the knees. And then, of course, just on the tailbone, the sitting bones, the base of the spine, our root chakra. So getting settled, getting grounded here, sitting up nice and tall, closing down the eyes, or gazing at the tip of the nose, or finding a drishti, which would be any point in space, right? It can be a speck on the wall, speck on the ground, wherever you're practicing. Just inhaling fully through the nose, through the nostrils, lengthening up through the spine. Exhale, belly in. So inhale, fill, expand, fill the diaphragm, expand the belly. Exhale, draw the navel back in towards the spine. We can begin to engage in Muladhara. So as we engage in the pelvic floor, we lift the navel in and up. And we can engage in those pelvic floor muscles as well. So activating the core, feeling our strength here, our inner strength, belly in and up, pelvic floor is engaged in lifting as we exhale. So we force the breath back out through the backside of the throat, out through the nostrils. All right, so inhale, fill the deep low belly. Rib cage is rising, chest rises last. Lengthening nice and tall through the crown of our head as we're grounding through our roots. We're growing roots through our sitting bones. They're literally growing into the earth here. Exhale, we draw the belly in and up, pushing the breath out from the heart to the lungs, out through the backside of the throat and out the nostrils, right? So you can find some fluidity to your breath as we draw that breath in and exhale it back out. We are pushing the prana, the fire, the life force energy from the heart to the lungs, out back through the nostrils. So this is our pranayama, the Ujjayi breath. Broadening through the collarbones, just feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling at ease, feeling grounded, right? Feeling centered in your own body. Grounding through the pelvis, through the pelvic floor here. Anchoring into the earth. It's best if you can do this practice outside, to be in nature, touch with nature, but either way, it's okay. What matters is that we're practicing. We're breathing. So once again, that affirmation that you've chosen. Mine is I am safe, I am secure, I am at home. I am at ease. We're going to inhale, bring our arms up and overhead, sternum lifting up, gazing up at our thumbs. We can bring the palms to touch here. Sternum is lifting up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, we're going to belly in and round the spine, chin to chest, scoop that low belly. One more time, connecting our breath with our movement. Inhale, elbows back up with the ears, gazing up at the thumbs, palms face or touch. Inhale, exhale, belly in and round. So turning that into as much of a back bend as you would like. Still got the green light on for the microphone. Inhale, elbows backing up. Reach up for all that beautiful positive energy and light, grounding root, earth energy. So just sealing our intention in our heart centers for a moment, and connect the thumbs with the heart space, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Emanating love from the heart center. Energy is coming up from the base of the spine and out through the heart. The most powerful chakra in the body is the heart. Eyes fall heavy back towards the cheekbones as the face begins to soften. Allow your jaw to let go. No tension. Soften the space in between the eyebrows. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. So you can gaze at the space in between the eyebrows or just allow the eyes to fall heavy back towards the cheekbones. Right, if you're able to close down the eyes or just find your gaze, find your drishti, any point in space or the tip of the nose. To keep your inner focus, inner concentration, less wandering of the mind, becoming more centered, more aware of the inner body, innermost being, innermost awareness, the breath behind the breath. So just noticing, taking a moment, keep breathing, but you can let the breath go and just notice the body, right? Notice what you notice. Any areas of tension, tightness, just any areas that you can let go just a little bit more, soften. Noticing the breath, right? Noticing how the body's breathing naturally on its own for a moment. Noticing any emotions that come up, right? Any stress, any anxiety, and we really want that to just wash away. We don't need it, right? As we center and ground and root into our bodies, anchoring our energy into the earth. Mother Earth will nourish us. This energy will come up from the earth as it will from up above. All right, so we really want to draw in that earth energy today. So you can imagine the earth's energy is kind of flushing up through the spine here, right? Energy as we grow roots into the earth and we send our energy, our light down into Mother Earth, she sends energy up to us. Healing energy, conscious energy. Maybe meditating on that just for a moment, feeling a connection, whether you're on the ground or not. You can still send your energy down through to Mother Earth. To Gia, right? She has her own consciousness. So do the trees. How about that? They have their own consciousness, as do we. So we can call upon her for healing. We can call upon the trees for healing, grounding, centering, letting go of anxiety, stress, pain, discomfort, unease in the body. Let that energy go, right? We want to fill with this healing vibrations, healing energy, grounding energy, anchoring energy, feeling strong and centered in our bodies, not the mind, right? We want to be in the body, in this center line where the root chakra begins, this long line of energy that moves right through the center of our bodies. Still got the green light on. Microphone, hopefully you are hearing me, as I will have to edit this. But we are going to begin to move our bodies and strengthen our legs and our core, okay? So we will find our way to our hands and knees in a tabletop posture with our shoulders over our wrists, hips over the knees. So we're stacked up in our table and we're going to straighten that left leg, pressing into the ball of the back foot. So pressing your heel towards the wall behind you, just send your heel away from you, pressing into the ball of the feet. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, root down through your knuckles, heels of your hands, and pads of the fingers. And then we're going to step this left foot to the outside of the right hip, getting a nice little outer hip stretch there on the left side. Shoulders are still stacked. And then one more time, pressing through the ball of that back foot. We'll drop the left knee down and we're going to straighten the right leg, pressing and lengthening through that back. Right side. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, and then we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the left hip. Keep pressing into the ball of the foot, right? Keep sending your heel away from you. Inhale here, exhale here. One more breath. Inhale here. Feel it in the outside of that right hip, that outer kind of hip flexor, that right side body. And then send it back, and right knee meets left, back to our tabletop. We can just send the hips from side to side, check in with the hips, check in with the knees, swaying from side to side or forward and back. Shoulders can come forward, hips go back. You can round the spine. You can drop the belly for some cat-cow. Inhale, pressing through the palms, gazing up, maybe looking up. Tucking the tailbone, exhale, rounding it out like a cat, moving your spine around, bending forward and back. So we want to create more space in between each and every single vertebrae in a cat-cow posture. So we want lots of awareness in our legs and our feet, in our lower back, but as well throughout the whole entire spine. It is an extension of our brains, right? So our nervous system, these energy centers. So we always want to maintain a nice healthy spine. Okay, so we are going to lift the right leg up, squaring off our hips here. Right leg lifts up towards the sky, make the footprint. So send the heel behind you, and we're going to bring our right knee to our right shoulder or our right elbow for this fire hydrant leg. So the knee to elbow or knee up to the shoulder, and then we're going to straighten that right leg up towards the sky. Hips are squared, so we're kind of dropping that right hip bone down towards the earth here. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing into the knuckles, heels of the hands, pads of the fingers, and one more time. Knee to elbow or knee to shoulder. Lift in your fire hydrant pose here. Right leg lifts up towards the sky. We're going to look forward here in between our hands at the top of the mat, and we're going to bring this right knee in between our hands. Okay, so we want our right knee over our right ankle, and we're going to stay in this grounded crescent lunge. So we're going to rise up, right? That back leg just kind of stays back there. But what we really want to make sure is we bring the foot out far enough so we have the knee over the ankle. We don't want the foot back here and then we're kind of really jarring the knee. We want to protect the knee, so bring the foot out, walk it out. You can help it get there. Heavy in the hips here. The hips are squared, so our hip bones are pointed forward. And we're going to bring our elbows up with our ears. We're still rooting through those grounding, imagining we're still sending energy. We're flushing out our root chakra. We're bringing it into balance here. So getting rid of any imbalances, right? Any stagnant energy that is not, it's not where it should be, right? We don't want this stagnant energy, any blockages. We don't want any blockages in our root chakra, right? So we want this nice, we can consider it like a spiral of energy, right? So we don't want debris in there, right? We don't want these things stuck. So we're flushing it out. We're bringing it into balance, removing any blockages. Elbows up at the ears. You can gaze up at the thumbs and take a back bend as much as you would like, or not. You can take cactus arms. You can just reach the arms up, or hands can go to prayer. Hands can go to the center line, into heart center. And then we're going to frame the front right foot, and we're going to straighten the front right leg and take a half splits forward fold here. So keep making a footprint with the right foot. So we're flexing, all right, and we're drawing that right hip bone back, and we're forward folding over our front right straight leg, softening the knee, soften the face, release the jaw, and bring the chin to the shin or forehead to the knee as you fold forward and draw that right hip bone back. And then we're going to come forward in our lunge, and we're going to plant our hands, pressing up into a low runner's lunge. So plant the ball of that back left foot. We're still sending energy through the heel of the back leg here, so it's active. We're going to float left foot up to meet the right in a forward fold. Bending the knees, bringing the chest to the thighs. As much of a bend in the knees here as you would like. Feet are hip width apart. You can bend one knee and straighten the opposite leg. Allow the head to hang and be heavy. The neck to lengthen out here. Crown of the head going towards the earth. So we can hang in a ragdoll posture and sway from side to side, binding opposite elbows in front of us. And just really breathe into the whole back side of the body, the legs, relax the shoulders, let the head hang, just really let it be heavy here. And I find sometimes in forward folds, emotions come up, but we just want to release them, right? Experience them, notice them, release them, let them go. Just breathing through them. So our exhale sends them into the earth to be neutralized. Give them to Mother Earth. Just breathe through it. Inhale, exhale. And then we're slowly going to ground down through our feet. They're hip width apart. Our big toes can touch it. And we're slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Grounding now, sending energy through the feet, reaching the arms up and overhead. So we can take that back bend here. Turn them up, elbows back, elbows up with the ears. You can gaze up at your thumbs, or you can just stand tall and find a neutral spine and a flat back. And we're going to forward fold, passing through the center line, forward folding, releasing the fingertips down out in front of you. Inhale, find a flat back in this number 7 shape. Okay, so fingertips can come up to our shins, they can come up to our thighs. We're extending the spine forward and back. So lengthening through the crown of the head, and we're sending the tailbone back behind us. This is our inhale. Exhale, we're going to put a nice soft bend in the knees and plant the hands shoulder width apart and take a big wide step back. Left foot followed by right to high plank. Or you can drop down to the knees, okay? High plank, bending only the elbows. We're going to lower ourselves all the way down to the mat, or hover in a low plank, okay? Or you can be on the knees and just hover chin, chest, and heart. Elbows hug in by our sides and press it up for our first cobra pose. All right, so we're lengthening to the center line. We want to extend the spine out of the pelvis, lengthening through the crown of the head. We don't want to necessarily crunch the head back. All right, so we're lengthening. Our head is an extension of the spine here. Lengthen to that center line, lengthen through the abdominals. Legs can rest here. They can engage in lift off the mat. So we have cobra or a full up dog, where it's only the palms and the top sides of the feet pressing. This is our inhale, exhale. So you can pass through your hands and knees, okay? Go through your tabletop, then tuck your toes and lift your hips, or immediately go to down dog. Sending the hips back and up, back and up, back and up, chest back towards the thighs, maybe pedaling out the feet here, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. Take a little twist if you want to. for our downward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward V shape, chest back, right? Index finger points forward. We want to send the heels down towards the earth here, towards the mat. It's okay if they're lifted. That's just what we're going for, okay? Then we're gonna lift the left leg up towards the sky here. Look forward and step that left foot up in between the hands at the top of the mat. Grounding the back knee and foot down for our low runner's lunge. Low runner's lunge, low runner's lunge. Settling in the hips. Grounding in the knee, left knee over left ankle. Extend the spine. Gazes up. You can gaze down if you want to, so you can turn this into as much of a back bend as you would like, but just be nice and heavy in the hips here. Inhale, exhale, back to tabletop. Okay, so we're kind of reversing one posture, all right? So we're gonna lift the left leg up and then take our fire hydrant leg. So left knee, left shoulder. Left leg lifts. It's okay if it's not perfectly in order. Left leg lifts, left knee, left elbow or shoulder. One more. Left leg lifts, hips are squared. Bring it forward to the elbow, the shoulder, and then step that left foot up again in between the hands at the top of the mat. And then we're going to straighten that left leg. So forward folding, chin to shin or forehead to the knee. Draw that left hip bone back as you fold forward. You make a footprint with this front left foot. And then we're going to shift forward, planting the ball of that foot. We go back to our grounded lunge, to our low runner's lunge. Press your way up into the ball of that back right foot. We're extending the spine, left knee over left ankle. We're lengthening through the heel of that back foot here, lengthening through that whole back leg, right? Inhale, exhale, float right foot up to meet the left, forward fold, bend the knee, chest to thighs, as much of a bind here as you would like. You can just simply let the arms kind of just hang down. You can bind your ankles, bind your elbows in front of you or behind you. Sending the hips up, 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 and back. Micro bending in the knees, as much of a bend in the knees, like I said, as you would like, or trying to straighten those legs. Grounding down through those feet. Strong legs and feet here. All right, so we want to ground through the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the heel of the foot. Sending the energy through the feet. And we're going to bend our knees and sink our hips low for a chair pose. Tailbone towards the heels, elbows up with the ears, palms face or touch, sternum lifts up if you want to back bend, or hands can go to prayer. Hands can always go to heart center. And then we're going to spread our toes and lift our toes up off the mat. Find a little tilt in the pelvis forward to find that flat back. Spread the toes, lift the toes, shift your weight forward into the balls of the feet, hover the heels off the mat. One more time, shift it back into the heels, lift the toes, spread the toes, tailbone towards the heels. Last time, shift it forward into the balls of the feet. Strong legs here. Pretend you're squeezing your inner thighs together. You can pretend you have a block there. You're squeezing everything into the center line as we hover those heels off our mat. Sink it low. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Send the heels back. Back and down. Inhale, flat back in this number 7 shape as we gaze forward. Extending the spine. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and we step, jump, or float to a high plank pose. So bring those shoulders forward as we plant the hands shoulder width apart. Shoulders come forward. We can jump or float our feet back to our high plank, or we just take the big wide step. Gracefully stepping back, one foot followed by the other. Drop down to the knees. High plank goes to low. Hover in a low plank or drop it down. Inhale to your up dog or cobra pose. Legs rest or engage and lift. Engage in the glutes here too. Inhale, exhale. Roll over your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. Maybe gazing under the opposite armpit. We're going to lift the right leg up towards the sky. This time we're going to bring the shoulders forward and go right knee, right elbow, or shoulder up towards the tricep, right knee, left elbow. A little bit of a twist, strong core, strong abdominals. Hug the right knee into the chest, belly in belly, and find a flat back. Float right foot up in between the hands at the top of the mat. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to ground the back knee and foot down, untuck the toes, elbows up with the ears, palms face or touch. Ooh, find your balance. Heavy, sink heavy in the hips, heavy in the root, the base of the spine. It's also where most of the water lies in the body. 70% of our water actually lies back here. That's why it's called the sacrum, sacred place in the body, because water is sacred and holy. Inhale, exhale, forward fold over your front right straight leg. So plant the heel of your foot, flex your foot, draw that right hip bone back, soften in the kneecap, soften your face, release the jaw. Easy monkey pose or half splits forward fold. I've heard it called different things. Just enjoy it. And then shift it forward to the ball of your back foot for your low runner's lunge. And we're going to do that one more time. Left foot floats up to meet right, forward fold. Bend the knees, chest to thighs. We're hanging bind. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, grounding down through those strong feet and legs. Reverse swan diving the arms, extending them out by your sides, reaching them up and overhead, back bending if you would like. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Pass through that center line. Inhale, find your flat back for length in your number 7 shape. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step, jump, or float to your high plank pose. High plank goes to low. You can skip this all together and immediately go to down dog. You can take a child's pose. I will go over child's pose if you do not know child's pose. You can drop that right hip bone down, a little easy twist. Drop that left hip bone down. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Rolling over the toes. Lifting the hips, send them back and up. Tailbone goes back and up. Sending energy through that root. Left leg lifts, grounding through the feet here. So we're really grounding through that right foot and leg. It's anchoring down. Left leg lifts, and we're going to bring those shoulders forward. Left knee, left elbow. Left knee, right elbow. Hug the knee into the chest. Belly in, belly in, belly in. Flat back. Find those bandhas, navel in, pelvic floor. Everything is lifting and engaged here. Right, moving to those chakras. Foot left foot up in between the hands at the top of the mat. Grounding. So we're in our low runner's lunge. We're lengthening through the back leg here, through that heel of that back foot, making that footprint. We drop the back knee and foot down. Elbows up with the ears for our grounded crescent lunge. Or warrior, whatever you want to call it. Left knee over left ankle, right? Relax the shoulders away from the ears, as much of a back bend as you would like. Finding that flexion, mobility in your spine. Bending forward, bending back. Spinal health here, and then we frame the front left foot. Forward folding, straighten that front left leg. Draw that left hip bone back. Shin to shin, or forehead to the knee. So you're rounding, you're closing off your throat, or it's more open. You can inhale, find a flat back and lengthen. Extend the spine, breathing into the spine, the neck, the shoulders, folding forward. Flex that front foot. So you can point the toes, you can spread the toes, make that footprint. Shift it forward, back to your low runner's lunge. We're on the ball of that back right foot, left. Right foot floats up to meet left, forward fold. One more time, bend the knees, chest to thighs. Take your bind if you want to. Bind your elbows, bind your ankles. Fold yourself in half, chin to shin or forehead to the knee. Once again, throat open, throat closed. Play around with it. Just let the crown of the head hang. Let the neck lengthen here. Grounding down through the feet, right? That's what we want. Strong legs and feet here. Anchoring our light, our energy into the earth. So rooting to rise. Reverse swan diving. Reach the arms up and overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, belly in, forward fold. So we can swan dive down, leading with the heart. Standing out through those fingertips. Inhale, flat back for length in our number 7 shape. Big full inhale, gazes forward or at the space in between the eyebrows. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, shoulder width apart. Step, jumper, float back to your high plank pose. Moving through an optional flow. High plank goes to low or lowers down to the mat. Press it up for cobra or up dog. Lengthen through that center line. You can drop one hip down, then the other hip, gazing over the opposite shoulder if that feels good to you. In your side bodies, in your hips. So your inhale, exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Okay, so taking this at your pace, I like to say this is for all levels, okay? We're gonna do one child's pose together so you know what it is, or you can stay in your down dog. So you can drop down to your knees, back kind of to your table, hips go back to the heels, forehead drops down to the mat. We can extend our child's pose, popping up onto the fingertips, activating the upper back and shoulders. Our arms can go by our sides with our palms face up to the sky. So knees can touch or they can open wide, extended, wide-legged, any variation of child's pose, okay? We can send our hips from side to side, our forehead from side to side, massaging out those all of the nerves there in the forehead, right? Feels pretty good. Or if you had a block, you could bring your block underneath your forehead to a block. All right, so child's pose is always available. It's a beautiful, nice grounding, connecting posture here as well. All right, so hands and knees tabletop. We're gonna go back to downward facing dog. And we're gonna lift our right leg up towards the sky. That back foot is flexed, the hips are squared, and one more time, we're gonna go shoulders forward, right knee, right elbow, or shoulder or tricep, right knee, left elbow, belly in, squeeze the knee to the chest, gaze forward, flat back, float right foot up, in between your hands at the top of the mat. Yay, we still have green light. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'll find out, right? So we're in our low runner's lunge. We're extending the spine. We're still lengthening through the heel of that back left leg. And then we're gonna bring our elbows up with our ears and rise up for a high crescent lunge. So we're on the ball of that back foot, right knee over right ankle, elbows up with the ears, palms face or touch. Option to bend that back knee or not. So you can play around with bending that back knee and straightening it. So whatever you feel best. It really does turn on the glutes. You can kind of pump that back leg if you want to. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. We're really strong in our legs here, and we're going to take a twist, opening to the right. So we're going to bring the right arm behind us and the left arm forward. Twisting and detoxifying through that center line. And we're going to reverse this. So revolved reverse here. Right hand goes down that back left leg, or you can drape it by the base of the spine. And then just kind of paint the sky. Keep your balance, your gaze, drishti. Gaze goes up or over that right shoulder. So really lengthening to that left side body. Finding your twist again, strong T arms, hands come to prayer. We're gonna float up into our front right standing leg and foot. Woo, finding tree pose on the right. All right, so we can start by hugging the left knee into the chest, standing up nice and tall, growing our roots here through the right foot and leg, right? Sending that energy, grounding it into the earth. So for our tree pose, the simple kickstand posture here, we can just place the foot inside of the ankle, kind of kickstanding the foot, or we can bring it up to the calf or to that upper inner right thigh, okay? Spreading the hips. We want to really spread the hip bones here. We're opening up the hips as we're grounding through that front right foot. All right, and we can bring the arms up, elbows up with the ears, growing our tree, swaying our tree. We can sway from side to side. What balancing is that we are balancing on the right side, the right leg, the right foot. That's what matters, okay? So wherever you're at, you could also take a half lotus posture where we bring the left foot up to the right hip crease on the front side. So inner thigh, top of the thigh. You want to draw that left knee down if you're here in your half lotus. Grow your tree, sway your tree. Hands can always go to prayer. We are in a moving meditation. All right, anchoring our energy. Strong standing legs and feet. All right, so we're going to hug the left knee into the chest, and we're done with our tree pose, and then just bring that left knee out to the left. All right, so kind of opening up the gate here, and then we're going to bind our left, so you can stay with the knee. You can go back to tree pose, okay? If you have a different standing balancing posture of choice, you can go there, okay? If you're with me, we're going to bind the left peace fingers with the left big toe and bring our right hand to our right hip and begin to straighten this left leg. And then forward fold, bringing our forehead to our knee or chin to shin, drawing that left hip bone back. Left hip bone back, left hip bone back. Fold yourself in half. You can take a bind here with both hands if you want to, or just keep the peace fingers with the big toes. Make the footprint forward, flexing through that heel. Keep your bind or stay with the knee, and then open up the gate to the left, growing tall. Right arm can reach up, wherever it wants to be. Hand can be on the hip. Standing tall, standing tall, standing tall. We don't want to dump anywhere. We're lifting up and out of this. Growing our roots here, anchoring our light, but growing tall through the spine, through the crown of the head as well. Standing at the top of the mat, Tadasana, let it go. Shake it out a little bit. Mountain pose. So feet, once again, hip width apart, our big toes are touching here. Just bring the arms by the side, standing tall, grounding down through the feet. Inhale, exhale, just feeling a little bit more centered, a little bit more grounded. We're going to reverse swan dive the arms, reach them up and overhead. Inhale. Back bending, exhale, forward folding. Back bending is a choice. It's an option. It's available to you. It is, like I said, the flexion, the mobility of the spine. We want to be able to bend back and forward and to the side. We want this mobility in the spine as much as possible. Toning the discs in our spine, literally toning our spine, which is connected to our brain, right? All the nerves and nervous system. So pretty beneficial. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, shoulder width apart, step, jump, float. High plank pose, optional flow. High plank goes to low, elbows hugging by your sides. Press it up, cobra or up dog. Exhale to your down dog. Pedal out the feet here, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg. One more time. Take a child's pose if you want to. Meeting up on the other side, left leg lifts. Right foot grounds, hips are squared. This is our inhale, back foot is flexed and lifted. Left knee, left elbow or shoulder, tricep. Left knee, right elbow. Left knee into the center line, squeeze it in, float left foot up, in between the hands at the top of the mat. We're in our low runner's lunge, and we're gonna come up to our high lunge. Elbows up with the ears, palms face or touch, sternum lifting up. So back bending is an option as much as you would like. All right, inhale here, exhale, open up to your awkward twist. Right hand forward, so right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. We want to try to stay centered through the center line. It is tough. It is awkward. We're twisting the spine, wringing it out, twisting and detoxifying, keeping that mobility, flexibility in the spine, reversing our crescent lunge here. So the back hand goes down the back leg or drapes by the base of the spine. That right arm reaches up and back, painting the sky with the right fingertips, chin towards the armpit. Gaze goes up or over that back shoulder. Inhale. If that's ever too much, you can just stand with your hands in heart center. So strong here. We should really be feeling the burn in that left thigh, leg, hips, floating gracefully onto the front left standing foot and leg. Hug that right knee into the chest. Grounding through that left foot. Inhale, exhale. One more breath here. Hug it in, grow taller. String is growing you taller through the crown of the head. So stay with the knee. You can open up the gate here and then take your tree pose, any variation. Foot inside the ankle, the calf, in that upper thigh, or the hip crease for your half lotus here. Grow your tree, sway your tree, consciously grounding through that left heel of the foot, anchoring down behind the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, right? Just sending energy through that left leg. Inhale, exhale. Energy moving up and down. Hands can go to prayer. Be with your tree. Spread your hips. Sway side to side if you want to. Strengthening that connective tissue in the legs and in the feet, and the ankles and the toes when we're balancing like this on one side. All right, so we're going to bring the left hand to the left hip, right peace fingers to right big toe, and begin to straighten this front right leg, or just be with the knee. You can hug the knee into the chest again and forward fold, or you can stay in your tree or any standing balancing posture of choice. Balancing on the left side, the left leg is grounded here. So we fold forward, chin to shin or forehead to the knee. You can also kind of round the spine, bringing your forehead to your knee, and then open up the gate, bringing that right leg out to the right, growing tall, left hand, left hip. You can also reach it out to the left, however you feel balanced, stabilizing, grounded here. Secure, safe, secure, grounded, at ease, strong, centered in your body. Bring it back to center, forward fold. Stay with the knee, growing taller, let it go, shake it out. Standing at the top of the mat, Tadasana. Mountain pose, connecting with that mantra. One more chair pose, bending the knees, sinking the hips low. Tailbone towards the heels, elbows up at the ears, spread the toes, lift the toes. Anchor through the heels, elbows up at the ears, palms face or touch, right? Hands can always go to prayer. We're going to take a prayer twist to the right. Hooking left elbow outside of that right knee. Thumbs press into the sternum. We want to keep the hands in front of the heart here. Our prayer hands in front of the heart, twisting, gazing over that right shoulder, twisting and detoxifying Detoxifying, wringing out the spine. So we're doing a root chakra flow, but also great for the nervous system. Great for wringing out nervous energy in the body. So it helps with anxiety and depression. Bringing it back to center. Spread the toes, lift the toes. And then we're going to send it into the balls of the feet. Hover the heels, draw the knees into the center line, shift it back into the heels, take a twist right up outside of that left knee. Hands in front of the heart, in front of the sternum, gazing over that left shoulder. Sink the sitting bones low. One more breath. Spiraling through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. Release it, forward fold. Let it go. You can bend one knee and straighten the opposite leg here. Ooh, releasing the legs in the low back, or just take or bind. As much of a bend in the knees as you would like. Inhale, we're going to reset the spine. Moving through a vinyasa flow, or chaturanga we call it. Gaze is forward, flat back in that number 7 shape. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step, jump, or float. High plank pose. Or you can always drop down to the knee. High goes to low, press it up, cobra or up dog. Legs lift or rest. Extending the spine. Out of the pelvis. Roll over the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Pedal at the feet. Bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg. Awesome. Let's take a child's pose. Hips, forehead and hips down to the mat. Hips back to the heels. Activating. Maybe you want the wide-legged child's pose here, opening up your knees wide. Or knees coming together. So any variation. Arms can also go by your sides. Palms facing up to the sky. Maybe you want to rock your forehead from side to side, massaging out that third eye. Breathe into your spine. The neck, the shoulders, the back side of the heart. Feeling safe. Feeling at ease. Feeling at home. In your body, in your safe body. Surrounded by this energy above you and below you. You are safe. You are secure. You are at ease. You are peaceful. You are in this present moment. Just keep breathing. And then we're going to come up to hero's pose here. All right, so sitting back on the heels. You can tuck your toes here if you want to just transition. So good for the arches in the feet, stretching out the arches in the feet, the ankles. This is good for the front side of the body here as well, front sides of the legs. So we're just going to transition to then crossing the feet and straighten the legs out in front of us. Planting those feet hip width apart, we're going to find our way down on our mat. So you can use your core muscles, plant those feet out in front of you, hip width apart, extend the spine, lift the sternum, and just reach through your fingertips and slowly lower down as slow and as controlled as you want to go, okay? Belly in, keep those feet planted, belly in, so strong, lower it all the way down to the mat. We're gonna take a bridge pose. Grounding down through those feet and legs. All right, so this is great for, once again, flushing out the root chakra. Like we're rinsing it out, okay? So we're bringing the heels towards the tailbone. They're hip width apart. Fingertips touch the heels. We're going to lift our hips up towards the sky. Easy on the neck here. We lift those hips up, 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 up. Draw the knees into the center line. You can pretend you have a block here or bring a block in between your thighs or your knees to keep those knees in alignment, nice and centered. They don't want to splay open. We want to draw them towards each other, hip width apart. And then we can bring our hands underneath our hips and make this little elbow stand if you want to lift your hips up a little bit higher, or you could stack a couple blocks or one block on any level underneath the tailbone, the base of the spine. I don't have my blocks out here today, but you can play around with the block if you have them. All right, so any level of the block so you can be as lifted or supported as you want to be here. But we want to be grounding through those feet. That's what's really important. Strong lifted legs and feet here. Sending energy through those feet. This is so good for the base of the spine. It's a back bend as well. Lift them just a little bit higher. Lift those hips up just a little bit higher. Wherever you're at, you can lift them off the block. Inhale, exhale, and then release your block. And we're just going to slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Slowly, consciously lower down one vertebrae at a time. The base of the spine touching down last. And we're just going to heel toe our feet apart, wide here, wider than our hips, close to the outer edges of our mat. Maybe not quite that far out, depending on the length of your legs, but we want to drop the knees together then. So feet wide, knees drop into the center line, helping us to bring our spine back in alignment, into the same line here. So we want the tailbone to be rested and grounded. We're going to do our bridge pose one more time. If you want a different back bend, if you want to go into a full wheel back bend or a different posture of choice, you are welcome to. I said we're focusing on the legs, the feet, the ankles here for the root chakra. So we're going to go heel toe our feet in, hip width apart, heels towards the tailbone. All right, fingertips touch the heels. Lift those hips up towards the sky. Make your elbows stand, bring your blocks underneath your tailbone. The sacrum, draw the knees in, into that center line. Lift, press through the feet and lift the hips. One more time, press through the feet, lift the hips. Couple more breaths, one or two more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Draw those knees inwards. Squeeze your block or your imaginary block. Inhale, exhale, lower down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Base of the spine, tailbone coming down last. Ooh, and then open up the feet a little bit wider, drop the knees together. Let the spine settle back in. And slightly lift the chin. Help to draw the gaze at the space in between the eyebrows here, where you can be gazing up or at the tip of your nose. All right, so now we're going to straighten the legs up towards the sky for waterfall pose. And you can flex the feet here, you can point the toes, you can roll the ankles. This is an inversion, right? We're getting that blood flowing back down to the heart, blood flowing down through the legs, back down to the heart and the brain, nourishing our spines as well. So you can bind behind the legs, the thighs, wherever you want to. All right, you can lift your sitting bones up on a block that if you feel more supported there, or even a blanket. If you rolled up a blanket or folded up a blanket or a towel. All right, so this is waterfall pose and you're welcome to stay here or bring your legs up the wall. If you're at home and you want to kind of scoot your sitting bones as close to the wall as possible and then straighten your legs up towards the sky and be supported there. You can also keep a block underneath the sitting bones or a blanket or towel, okay? So legs up the wall, waterfall, just straighten the legs up towards the sky or shoulder stand, okay? So we're gonna press the arms, forearms by our sides, plant those palms by your sides. Press your way up into the shoulders, easy on the neck. Making that little elbow stand, supporting and lifting the hips up here and straightening the legs up towards the sky. So gauge in your glutes, strong legs here, straight up towards the sky. You can flex the feet, making that footprint. All right, or point the toes. So play around with your waterfall, legs up the wall, shoulder stand, just reversing that blood flow, reversing the prana, reversing the chi. The life force energy, right? Moving through our spines, our neck, our shoulders. If you want to play around with plow pose, if you're here, bring the feet overhead, officially closing off the throat here. You can bring the fingertips to the big toes, peace fingers to big toes. Or ear pressure pose, squeezing the knees into the temples or the sides of the head, or stay in your shoulder stand. A super beneficial inversion, like I said, or your waterfall pose. We're going to finish up this simple chakra flow root chakra flow. And we will just slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time, and you're welcome to stay there as long as you want. You can be in inversion for a whole minute is ideal every single day. Legs up the wall for a minute every single day. And open up those feet wide, drop the knees together. Maybe windshield wiper them from side to side, releasing in that low back, along the spine. And we're going to bring the soles of our feet together here for Supta Baddha Konasana, making this diamond shape with the legs and the feet. So allowing the knees to just open up as we press the soles of our feet together. The outer edges of the feet press together, and we can kind of open up through the top sides of the feet, if that makes any sense. If not, just bring the soles of your feet together, open up your knees wide, or the bottom part of the foot kind of presses together. It's almost like it's a lotus flower opening. The feet kind of open up on the side there. Lift the chin up slightly. Bring the right hand to the chest or the heart, left hand to the belly. Or you can play around left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Resting the tailbone, those sitting bones. Remembering, I am strong. I'm centered in my body. I trust more and fear less. I am stronger than fear or doubt. I am safe. I am secure. I am at ease. I am grounded and rooted and centered in my life. I grow my roots every day. In this body, in this life. You can say any or all of those out loud, or any positive affirmation you want. And then we're just going to straighten the right leg to the right corner of the mat. Left leg goes to the left corner for our corpse pose, and our arms go out by our sides. Palms faced up to the sky. The chin lifts ever so slightly. A great posture for the root chakra. Corpse pose, Shavasana. Lying down like a corpse on our mat, open to receive the benefits of the practice. Open to receive our intentions. But it's so important to be consciously aware of your intentions, right? Setting those intentions, creating those positive affirmations every single day, creating the intentions, right? So saying your affirmations, writing down your affirmations. And if you find that you have an unbalanced root chakra, definitely start with those. I am safe. I am grounded. I am secure. I am at home. I am at ease. I trust myself in this body. I trust the earth below me. I am supported. One more deep breath here, and then we will let the breath go and just allow the body to naturally breathe on its own. Becoming the witness of the breath behind the breath. The eyes can gaze at the space in between the eyebrows. Just allow the eyes to fall heavy back towards the cheekbones as the face softens, right? The jaw lets go, not clenching anything in the body. At complete ease, softness, and letting go. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana. We're coming into a side-facing Shavasana, making a little pillow with your hands, falling over to one side. A soft bend in the knees, only when and if the body is ready to move, not the mind. The body is ready to move again. Planting your intentions down one more time. Trusting your body more. Becoming more present in your body. More aware. The connection to your body. Right? And just sending your body a little extra love today. I love you, body. Thank you, body. Right here and right now. You are perfect for me today. Pressing your way up into one palm and the other palm, or staying in your Shavasana or your side-facing Shavasana. I'm just going to close out the practice. Take your time, take your time. And find a seat if you want to. And we're going to do one Om, or I'm going to do one Om. So we're going to take a big full inhale through the nose. This comes from the low belly. The vibration comes from that deep low belly. Just open up the throat, toning the vocal cords in the throat, releasing that vibration. Inhale. Om. One more. Great for using your voice, using your throat chakra, vocal cords. So it doesn't matter what your Om sounds like, but practice it. All right? With ease, with grace, with power and vibration. The light in me humbly honors and bows to the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for practicing this simple, easy root chakra flow with me. And I hope that you begin to bring your root chakra into balance, into well-being, eating your root vegetables and your beautiful red berries and fruits and right strawberries, wearing red and listening to root chakra music. So thank you, everyone. Namaste.